My name is Clara, and I am 42 years old. Sometimes I still ask myself, how did I get here? How did the woman who once believed love could survive anything become the woman who learned that love can also destroy you? 5 years ago, my husband removed me and our children from his UK visa. Just like that, one email changed my entire life. We were both international students from Nigeria. He was doing his master's degree, and I was working as a registered nurse. I remember those nights, long, cold, endless nights at the hospital when I'd walk back to back shifts, my eyes burning from exhaustion, my feet sore from standing too long. I told myself, it's just for now, Clara. When he finishes school, everything will be better. He'd come home tired too, but I still made sure there was fresh food waiting. My husband doesn't eat refrigerated food, it has to be cooked that day. So even if I closed from work at 10 p.m., I'd cook. I wanted him to focus, to succeed. I was building our dream, our family's future. Then one afternoon, while I was at work, I received a home office email. At first, I thought it was a renewal notice. But when I opened it, my hand started shaking and it said my husband had removed me and our children from his visa. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I called him immediately, my voice trembling. He said, calm and cold. Mama said it's better this way, Clara. Uncle Jude has arranged something for me, a marriage that will help me settle faster. My words stopped. I remember the sound of my heart beating in my ears. A marriage? To who? He didn't answer. He just ended the call. That night, I knelt on the floor, clutching my phone, begging him through tears. For 2 weeks, I begged. I called his mother, his uncle, everyone I could think of. Do you know what they told me? He has removed you, Clara. Come back home. Start again. Start again? After all the sacrifices, after sending mama money every month, even when I could barely feed, after working double shifts so my husband could have peace of mind to study. My work permit was tied to his visa, so I lost my job. Just like that, no warning, no explanation, nothing. One decision from the man I loved left me homeless, jobless, and broken. I remember the day I almost gave up. It was raining lightly. I sat at the park near our old apartment, watching people walk by, their umbrellas colorful against the gray sky. I had 5 days left before I'd be deported to Nigeria. My savings were almost gone. I was empty body, mind, and spirit. Then, out of nowhere, my phone buzzed. A WhatsApp message from Lucy, a nurse I used to work with. Hey Clara, there's a recruitment drive for nurses in the US. They're sponsoring visas. You should apply. I almost ignored it. What was the point? But something, maybe desperation, maybe hope, pushed me to fill out the application. I didn't even pray about it. I was too tired to pray. It happened just 1 hour after I sent the job application. I was still sitting at the park, staring at my phone, wondering if I had made a fool of myself when it rang. Hello, is this Mrs. Clara? The woman's voice was warm, kind like sunlight breaking through a storm. Yes, this is she. You applied for our nursing position. Are you available for an interview? Today? I blinked. Today? My heart skipped a beat. Yes, I stammered. I'm available. She emailed me the Zoom link immediately. My hands trembled as I read it. I rushed home like a mad woman, ironed my blouse with shaky hands, powdered my face to hide the puffiness from crying. I looked at my reflection and whispered, Clara, hold yourself together. Just one more try. The interview began. The lady on the other side smiled often. She asked about my nursing experience, my certifications, and my family. I answered carefully, trying not to sound desperate, but my heart was pounding so loud I feared she could hear it through the screen. When it ended, she said softly, You'll hear from us soon. But I had heard that line before. We'll get back to you. It usually meant no, so I tried not to hope. Hope had disappointed me too many times. That evening, I folded my children's clothes into suitcases. They were watching me quietly from the corner of the room, confusion written all over their faces. Mommy, why are we going back? My 6 year old daughter asked, clutching her teddy bear. I froze. How could I tell her that her father had removed us from his life? How could I explain that the country she called home was no longer ours? So I lied. I smiled through the pain and said, we're just going to visit Grandma for a while. But my son, the observant one, frowned. But mommy, it's school time. We're not on holiday. That was the moment the tears came. Silent, hot, uncontrollable. I turned away so they wouldn't see. Let's just see how it goes, I whispered. 2 days later, I woke up to another email notification. It was from the same hospital. My heart stopped. Congratulations, Clara. You've been offered a position with full visa sponsorship. For a few seconds, I couldn't breathe. I read the message again and again. It felt like the words were glowing like light finally found me after years of darkness. I screamed, I jumped, I cried. I called Lucy, barely able to form words. Lucy! They gave me the job. Lucy, I got it. What? She shouted on the other end. Clara, oh my God, you did it. I was shaking, laughing, and crying all at once. It felt like a dream. And then, as if heaven wanted to make sure I knew this was real, my phone rang again. It was the HR lady. Clara, your visa interview has been scheduled for 9 a.m. tomorrow. We're expediting everything. I dropped the phone and fell to my knees. I wasn't just crying anymore, I was weeping. The kind of cry that comes from your soul when you realize God never forgot you. That night I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned, my heart racing between fear and hope. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw two paths, one leading back to Nigeria and another leading into the unknown. The next morning, I dressed up quietly and went for my visa interview. When I walked into the embassy, it felt like the air was thick with destiny. The visa officer looked at my documents, then at me, and smiled almost knowingly. Mrs. Clara, we've been expecting you. I blinked. Expecting me? How? He asked a few simple questions. My name, where I'd be working, how long I'd been a nurse, then stamped my passport. 5 minutes. That's all it took. 5 minutes to rewrite the story that had taken years to break me. I stepped out of that building and just stood there in disbelief. Tears filled my eyes. Not sad tears this time, but the kind that tastes like freedom. I emailed the HR lady immediately, thanking her again and again. For days I had searched for flights to Lagos, but that day I searched for flights to Houston. My bank account was nearly empty, but my hope was full again. I called my brother in Nigeria, told him everything. Without hesitation, he sent me money to complete the ticket. 2 days later, the same day immigration was supposed to deport us, I boarded a plane. Not back to the place of my pain, but toward the new beginning. As the plane lifted off, I looked out the window. My children were asleep beside me, their faces calm for the first time in months, and I whispered, we made it. I didn't tell my husband. When he came home that evening, the house was empty. No laughter, no toys, no smell of fresh soup simmering on the stove. Just silence. He never called, not once. Life in America started like a dream wrapped in fear. Everything was new, the people, the system, even the air. But I worked hard. I started in the hospital in Houston, and within 2 years, I was promoted to head nurse. I could finally breathe again. I bought a small home. My children thrived. We laughed again. We healed. Then came Thanksgiving this year, 5 years later. I was setting the table when my phone rang. A strange number. Hello? Clara, please. It's Mama. I froze. Her voice was shaky, heavy with tears. Please, my daughter, I know we wronged you, but your husband, he needs your help. I said nothing. just listened. She continued between sobs. The white woman he married. She reported him for domestic violence. He was arrested. They revoked his visa. Please help him, Clara. Add him to your visa. For a moment I couldn't speak. The same woman who convinced her son to destroy me was now begging for my mercy. Mama, I said quietly, do you remember what you told me that night? There was silence on the line. You said, he has removed you, Clara. Come back home. Start again. I paused, took a deep breath. Mama, she has removed him. Let him come back home. Start again. And I hung up. A week later, I got another call, this time from Nigeria. My ex-husband had been deported. He was back to where it all started, but he wasn't the same man. The pride that once blinded him had turned into bitterness. Now he's threatening to fight for custody of the children he once abandoned. But I'm not afraid anymore because I've learned something powerful.